Hello Goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes, and it's an episode of this week's Pipes. I'm smoking some GLP's Haddo's Delight, which might as well be called Eldritch's Delight, because it's not just Haddo's, it's mine too. I'm going to see Dune 2 tomorrow. Really looking forward to it. I loved the books as a teenager. I never read beyond Dune, to be honest. And I loved the David Lynch Dune. It was just like, for me, that was like a classic. Love it. It took me a second watch of this new Dune adaptation to really like the first part. First time round, I don't know. I liked it, I just didn't quite click with it. Left it for a couple of months, watched it again, second time loved it. It's a really good vision. I would say what jarred me the first time was the casting of the Harkonnen, the main dude. Because in the David Lynch version, he's really nasty. Really nasty. And Stellan Skarsgård just doesn't project, for me, that kind of horribleness. But, that's a small gripe now. There you go. I also remember last week I was talking about Briar. And in the middle of talking about that, or rather at the end of talking about Briar, I said to myself, have I forgotten something? I had a niggle, and I had forgotten the region that I've had Briar from. And that's Greece. Greek Briar. As far as I know, there's only one source for Greek Briar. Maybe there's more, but I've only encountered one. And I used Greek Briar for a year or two, actually. A year or two. Before finally settling on Italian, both for the colour and the grain. So yeah. Sorry, Greece. Sorry I forgot about you there. G&T. Fireside gin, that is. Very nice. If you have Audible, I've been listening to the first, I think it's called Cthulhu Casebook of Sherlock Holmes. It's by James Lovegrove. But if you've got Audible, they're free. They're free for some reason. I don't know why. So I've been listening to the first one, The Shadwell Shadows, and it's I'm enjoying it. It's very cozy, I would say. But for free, well, you can't turn that down. And we're watching two series that have got me totally engrossed. One is Constellation. That's showing on Apple TV. And Constellation is well good. It's quite strange. It's about astronauts going into the ISS, International Space Station, and coming back down and ensuing. Weirdnesses ensuing. Very good. And the other one is on Netflix, The Octopus Murders. All to do with starting with the death of a reporter who was looking into some government dealings with a computer firm. What were they called? They had a really funny name. Ismus or Inmus. It's gone. Anyway, fascinating. Total conspiracy theory, but maybe backed up with evidence. If you like the true crime thing and you like conspiracy, you can't fail to like it. It goes deep. All right. I have 3 pipes today. 2 are available. So let's have a look at we'll do the available ones first. It is a rusticated prince. A heavily rusticated prince, which is the only way to do them, with olive Cumberland stem. Some colours are this. It's always interesting on this camera. For some reason, the olive shows up as a kind of a bright yellow. It's kind of a mustard colour. It's not as bright as that, as it's showing up. But I love making these guys. The cragginess is it's kind of meditative when I rusticate one of these guys. Rusticating these is a 3-part process. 1 to knock out. Well, I suppose it's a 4-part process. 1 to get the general shape in, and then there's 3 levels of rusticating that go on. 1 to start building in some lines, 1 to dig deeper in, and then 1 to carve in the furthest. And the prince shape is just one of my favourites. So there, a rusticated prince, up for grabs. Second one that's available. It is a mandragora root. Again, this is a very relaxing pipe to make. Obviously, the spiral carving is a feature on these guys. Kind of a twisted bark, I like to think of it, that makes its way onto the stem. And again, I've gone with olive Cumberland. every inch of it gets carved in some fashion. I put a picture of these on Facebook today, and someone said that chamber is tiny. And I went, relativity has messed you up there. It's actually the outer diameter. The bowl chamber is pretty standard, but the outer diameter on this one is kind of large. So yeah, it does make the chamber seem small in comparison. With a little ring of you can call it moss green around the bowl and around the shank. It's a sitter. Ready to go. There's my gin. Thought of my hiccup then. Sometimes cold and fizzy just hits the hiccup spot sometimes. And you've seen one of these fellows many times before, but this is this week's version. It is a strawberry, of course it is, in a cordovan sandblast with earth and ivory stem. These blasted really nicely. Just has that really sort of like worn feel. It's yeah, it's very pleasing. I know not everyone jives with this earth and ivory stem, but it is one of my favourite stem colours to use. I don't know what to say about it, but it's just the detail, I think. It is the colours, but it's the detail. And because of the clarity of the brown, you can like see into it and see the swirls beneath the surface. Very nice. All right. Final sip. Okay, that's it from me. If you're interested in the Prince or the Mandragora route, wing me an email. That's the best way. You can ping me on the social medias, but email gets to me, usually, for the most part. Sometimes I can be a bit inundated with email, but that's, I don't know. I consider email to be my hub of communication, as I try to keep up with communication. All right, that is it from me. I shall see you next week, all being good. So until then, take it very easy. Your loyal pipe maker.